Hello everyone, and welcome back to Ace Attorney. As you can see, we're on the final day of the trial from Rise of the Ashes. We learned so many things last time. Still confused why Emma's fingerprints were on the cloth. But we will figure it out, I hope. This is the defendant lobby, alright? But there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where's Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if something's been happening behind the scenes. Edgeworth! Yippee! Hello! Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 77, yes, we get it, ID number is. That is, well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Duh. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True. Not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, right? And Chief Prosecutor Sky will be found guilty. But you didn't do it! I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say. This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Nana's hiding something, and the only way we will ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. The truth? Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you will lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. See you in court, right? Hi, Edgeworth. Was fun talking to you. I guess this is it. Time to hopefully win it all and we beat the game and yippee, we're done with the first game. I don't know where I stand on this, okay? There is so much that we have to do. Do we have to do? We have to do it, yeah. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Grant has on her, it's now. February 25th, courtroom. Discussion time! Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defendant is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally, this is where the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Chief Grant? Stop pausing so long! Morning, folks! How's everyone been doing? Hey, Udgy, been back to the pool yet? No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours? Oh, what a long pause. Oh, the music is gone. I don't like that. Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. I want you behind bars, or well, probably the death penalty, because that's apparently a thing here. What's this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request and I will be finished. Well then, what's your request? Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial. Huh? I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered the detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No, Lana! You can't. Your Honor, the defendant's claim doesn't change the defense plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. But Lana... Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack the direct evidence against me. but it has sufficiently proven in its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. No, it hasn't. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please. Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. Her request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise. This can't be happening. It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant... Who's the objection? One moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Come on now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut, huh? I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Grant. What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal, huh? Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness. Oh, to whom? As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye. I request the court to hear her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue... I don't care what you think, Miss Skye. An exposure of the truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. Very well, the court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Grant? Worthy, you will live to regret this, mark my words. Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand. Look like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. I'm proud of Edgeworth. Kind of feel bad for Emma though. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. My name is Emma Skye. My occupation, I'm Lana's little sister and I want to be a scientific investigator. 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct? Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that though. I'm sorry. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time. I don't know what it is with this series. Probably the amount of reading. But it is absolutely destroying my vocal cords. So I keep taking a bit more breaks. Because last time I couldn't really speak after recording an episode. So let's continue. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember the trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant? Yes, it most certainly is. Well, okay then. He sure gave him fast. Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. Okay. The truth behind this trial. What do we mean? What do we think it means? Probably... I still think Grant covered up the murder. But I don't know why. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Now Marshall rescued me. But I will never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. It's a good thing you weren't harmed. I passed out. I don't remember much. That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder? That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. But wasn't I relieved from the defense position? Whatever. I will run with it. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. And then mouse cube, I forgot what I saw in that instant. Press. That must have been a real shock. Even now, when I close my eyes, I can still see it just as clearly. Tell us, what were you doing at that moment? I believe you testified that Joe Dark was holding you hostage. When the lightning struck and the lights went out, Mr. Marshall jumped on Drake and was thrown aside, and the two began wrestling each other. I'm pretty sure I was watching them. Emma doesn't have any reason to lie, but Lana sure does. I need to get Emma to tell me as much about this as she can. 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, right? Yes, she was second in command under the Deputy Chief of Police Grant. My sister, she was the best detective ever. Yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Grant and Miss Skye used to be quite the pair. I believe they shared the same office. That's right. I always sit at my sister's desk and dream about playing the organ. And wanted to play it that day too. The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day. Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work. Okay. A man. Yes, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer. Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on the day of the ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest. When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right? Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then, when he ran into Skye and Grant's office, there was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look, but that's when I saw him. Okay. What was the prosecutor doing there? That day, there were 2 people present during Drake's questioning. Deputy Chief Damon Grant and Prosecutor Nell Marshall. Almost forgot about Grant. No, we did not, Phoenix. How would you forget about that? Nell Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors reward. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony. I assume that would also be why he was the first to run after Dark. When Dark grabbed me, I thought I was as good as dead. And when Prosecutor Marshall came running in, I don't clearly remember what happened then, but I will never forget what I saw in that instant. Can you tell us about that? Mr. Marshall jumped on Drake just then. The light went out. The lights? It was just about the time of year. There was a terrible storm going on, and the lightning struck nearby. So the electricity went out. Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right? Right, but just then the lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind. I see. I told the detective about what I saw then. The detective? Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case. Detective Bruce Goodman. The victim. Hear more. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago? Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial. And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw? Yes, but at the time the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture. A picture? Yes, I think she mentioned that before. Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough? Do I? I don't think so, because we're now getting close to the picture, so why would I stop? This picture the witness drew. I believe it was a very important meaning. But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. Witness, would you mind if you added this to your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost. I drew a picture of the scene you witnessed, right? Yes, I wanted to do everything I could to help the investigation. I can still see it now, whenever I close my eyes. That's strange. I took over the case after Prosecutor Marshall died, yet I never received any picture. Perhaps the witness is mistaken? But I did draw it, I swear. I'm not just imagining it. This picture that Emma drew, that reminds me. I guess I should check the evidence again. Well, anyway, let's continue. The scene that imprinted an image in your mind. Could you please describe it to us? The man... Yeah, I don't need to hear that. I am gonna ask, is this the picture? Mr. Edgeworth, this little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet you would insist on denying its existence. Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. I like his reaction because he is trying to help Phoenix out, and it's just like, I'm trying to help you, dude. What are you doing? That may well be, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold, this is the evidence list for the SL Mine incident. Please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it over? Turn it... Ah! What's this? Yes, what is that? Hey, that's it. That's a picture I drew. Indeed. Two men appear to be wrestling here. What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list? Me? On the prosecutor in... Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list. Huh? These lists, they're different from each other. What? It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks where they were torn apart from each other. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case was ever reached you. What? What? Order, order. But, Miss Skye, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list? Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor. Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor, are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head. If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. Yes, that's quite convincible, Mr. Edgeworth. It's possible. Let's see. Something wrong? Do we even have to ask? Why did he never notice the drawing before? Sorry, Your Honor. There's indeed something drawn on the back of my list. It's that thing. What? What's that? That thing? That's that thing that was dancing in the evidence room. Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives. I guess he was out of scrap paper. Okay. Evidence list restored and updated in the court record. So never drawn on that side before, got it. Very well, witness. Will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago? Huh? Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor. What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture. Emma's picture. Okay. Let's hear your story. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright I could see where shadows. Oh, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instance. To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind. Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly where she saw what she saw. Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about murder. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder Prosecutor Nell Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Edgeworth wanted to say something, didn't he? Is he gonna bother us again with like, hold up, I want to ask something first. Ba ba da ba da ba da. Okay. Did you draw this picture right after the incident? I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first, I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything. During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Demon Grand Atlanta Sky. 2 or 3 days later. And the memory should still have been fresh in her mind. Okay, I don't remember my lessons from my school wrong, right? But like flash memory... I think the word is flash memories. Hold up. Flash memories... no. Human, not computer-wise. Psychology. A flashback or an infiltrated current memory is still... It's also this... Not what I want to remember. Okay, that's an entire wiki page. I don't know. Flash bulb memory, I think that's the one I was talking about. A flash bulb memory is a vivid, long-lasting memory about a surprising or shocking event. There we go. Some researchers believe that there's a reason to distinguish flashbulb memories from other type of memories because they rely on elements of personal importance, consequences, emotions, or surprise. Blah blah blah. Yeah, okay, this is what I thought. This is what I learned. Flashbulb memories are not special in their accuracy, only in their perceived accuracy, because due to trauma, or whatever happened for it to become a flashbulb memory, people feel like they know more than that they think they do. I want to never forget, overconfidence in accuracy, and not occurred exact moments, blah 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 blah. Yeah, stability over time, not very stable. Considered only the participants who would recall source of news, blah blah blah. Reported less than 35% of detailed memories. This is a lot of text I'm reading, by the way. Why am I doing school reading when playing a game? That's not what I wanted to do. Let's just focus on the game and not try and do research. Excuse me, witness. But can you please tell us why this picture is painted all black? The flash of lightning was so bright all I could see were shadows. So, at the time you didn't even know if it was Mr. Marshall who had come to rescue you? No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor. You were knocked to the floor? Dark had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around, and there was that's when the lightning flashed. Poor Emma. I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed? After that, I must have fainted. You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place? No. I'm sorry. The flash of lightning only proved the proof of the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further? I don't want to, Edgeworth. Believe me. What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. I like that they keep blaming each other. Anyway, this picture shows exactly what I saw in that instance. Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw? Of course, this is exactly what I saw. It wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives. Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright? No, of course not. I'd better watch out, or he might find some way to cut my salary. Okay, that is funny. But he's not wrong. Like I said, with the flashbulb memory, the accuracy is just as good as normal memories, which isn't that great, accuracy-wise. You only think you remember it better. So if someone is telling you... I think there was a case that we talked about in my class about... after Princess Diana died, people saw a lot of news footage and that kind of stuff, and people were being questioned, did you see the movie? And a lot of people said yes, because they consumed so much information about the situation. But there was no movie, and that is just fascinating. Like, because they were asked if they saw the movie, their brain just made up the movie from all the information it had. So it's very easy to influence someone's memories. Also, I didn't do too well in that. I did do pretty good in the class, but like, it's also been a while. So if you really are interested in these kind of things, look it up yourself. Don't take what I say for facts. Because I'm just human, and I can be very, very wrong. Or what I have been taught can be very, very wrong. I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives. So I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me. Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture? Huh? Oh, well... That's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. And yet, there's clearly a contradiction here. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. Okay. What do I have? The face? Would it be the face? I don't think so. The only thing I would do... Oh, that is from before. Save. No, that's also from this time. Does this have anything new? No. Can I now see? Was the character in the window? Or is it truly just the detective didn't have enough space and wanted to draw it? Because they were talking about, what is it called? Painted glass. Was that the case or something? I'm curious, because it looks like she did draw on that side, hold up. Because you have the window shape. So I'm questioning, did the detective... Could you really draw that? Or did she do that? But okay. Present this one. Okay, because the thing is, what I'm saying, contradiction. She's saying he stabbed in the front, what I tried to press on in the first time, but nobody caught that. But he died from a stab wound in the back. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture, no witness drew, contains a blatant contradiction. What? But I still remember it like it was yesterday. Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report? The chest? Well, even with the chest stabbing part, he's kind of like covering it, right? Right? Okay, is it this? I think no. I don't see what's so strange about that. That's because the drawing stinks. That's rude. Mr. Wright, how could you? The act of making an innocent girl cry should warrant a death penalty. Yeah, no, I guess he means I shouldn't shift the blame to others. Well, yes, well, so long as the defense has learned its lesson, I better take another look at the autopsy report in this picture. Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you... Yeah, okay, what part of the autopsy? Okay, so it's not this part. It's the comically large knife. I'm scared to have it wrong again. Can I... Is this? The contradiction, of course, lies here. Apparently we kind of had it, I think. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken. I just thought she drew it badly. Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright. But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? The tip is broken too. If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body. So it was a conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer. I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma. And where, pray tell, do you possibly see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken. Ah! What's the meaning of this? Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand. Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there. That's right. But what does this mean? The tip of the knife was undeniable discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness' memory is mistaken. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she could remember it correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was so sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There's another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsifying evidence. You're treading on a thin ice, right? What I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility. No. Ugh! Order, order, order! Are you saying that this investigation really was corrupted? Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over all the events that took place on the day of the murder. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors award at the ceremony, now Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Demon Grant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Drake. It is my belief that somewhere in this story there is a lie. I'm not lying. That man really was holding up a broken knife. If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife. What are the chances of being two broken knives? Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's. Could there have been one? Well, we didn't find any. There's another one? I'm just going with that. The witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw. It can't just be explained by a simple observational error. Mr. Wright? In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife. I assume then that you have some information about this other broken knife? If so, please feel free to enlighten us. The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here is the real murder weapon. That's the only other broken knife I have. The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. Right here, inside this picture. This is a picture of the award ceremony. Ah! What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's the broken murder weapon. Notice the award Prosecutor Marshall is holding. That's a broken knife. As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award. Order! 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 Now Marshall was awarded the King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given the broken shield and knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in a dangerous situation. But that can be. Oh? And why not, Mr. Edgeworth? Because if the King of Prosecutors Award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed. What do you mean? I mean, this man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Nell Marshall. Oh. Oh. I mean, their faces looked kind of weird. I just brushed that off. But was that really the case the entire time, that we were looking at the face of the Joe Dark instead of Marshall? I just thought it was a bad drawing. Well, not bad, but like on purposely kind of fake. Misformed. I don't know. But the prosecutor was the one who actually died. That's true. What's going on here? It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions. Wait, I remember now. I remember everything. You remember things? Girl, it's been years. What do you remember? Witness? Mr. Edgeworth? What is it? Could you show me your evidence list again, please? His list? The one with the picture scribbled on the back. I knew it. This picture? I'm the one who drew it. What? You drew that? I knew it! What was it, though? That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. I knew it. I caught on to that. What is it, though? Because it's not the weird thing, I hope. All this time, I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me. Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness testimony. Would you please tell us what you recall, Miss Skye? Yes, Your Honor. First the knife mix-up, and now the Blue Badger? This should be interesting. Okay. Emma's recollection. Tell us how the Blue Badger ended up there, please. When I saw the man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed forward towards both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the Blue Badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. This is certainly most unusual. Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year. That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago. But yes, well, the defense may... too fast. Stop, please. Don't pursue this any further. Anna? What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair. But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that? Chief Prosecutor Skye. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back. Silence. The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant. It seems we're finally getting to the core of this matter. Finally. Yippee. Okay, yeah, sure. Why? Why would you do something so dangerous? What else could I have done? He was about to stab Mr. Marshall. He seemed convinced that Dart was the one holding the knife. But if he just theorized, Mr. Marshall was the one holding the knife. Well, I didn't know that at the time. When the Dart guy knocked me down, all I could think was, I've got to help the other person. Okay? I think I knocked away the man with the knife. What do you mean, you think? It all happened so fast, and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What I did is all kind of a blur. Miss Skye was almost killed before she was a witness to a murder about to take place. With so much happening in a matter of seconds, a little disorientation is only natural. I saw the man about to stab the other person who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife. What you did was very brave, young girl. So then, what happened next? Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. Are you sure about this? Of course, see? I even drew a picture of him there. But it was the chief of detectives who thought of this hideous beast. And that was just this year. The blue badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite very valuable. I know, it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling, why is my game slowing down to so slow? Blue Badger, you're destroying my game, I think. You're lagging it out. The music is fine. Is this on purpose? I'm feeling that I've seen him before somewhere. And I finally remember. Oh, brother. Just when you thought the thing had caused enough commotion. Tell us, where in the room did you see him dancing? He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. His shadow? So, you mean you didn't actually see his face, with its winning smile and all? That's right, but I still remember it. He had three creepy horns. This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be wrong or something. That may well be. But what is important is what caused her to think she saw what she did. Oh? And I suppose you have an explanation? If so, then by all means, please tell us what the shadow really was. What was it that Emma saw when the lightning flashed? Who is this blue badger, really? I just might know, I guess. The blue badger hadn't even been dreamt up when Emma drew this picture, yet she certainly saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense belief that one of the fateful days two years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the blue badger. Something that is now sitting in this very room. Mr. Wright? In this room? Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it that the witness saw in that instant? Please show us this mysterious blue badger, like... This shadow looks like nothing. So I'm going with this one. Because this is the only thing that's like, this is a horn, this is a horn, and this is a horn. That's the only way I can think that she saw the thing. That's not what I meant. Wait. Can I... It had another thing. But it's too far away. We will see. I'm assuming it's this one. But it had 3 things, so that just made me more sure. The mysterious blue badger was in fact this. But that's... what exactly is that? I believe it's some sort of jar. But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger. Indeed it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint? Our viewpoint? I've got to show them that the correct angle to make it look like... How? Oh my god, I can also spin it like this. I'm an idiot. Hey, okay, but how... How does it look like it? No, it's not right because I pressed the wrong button. Allow me to remind that the fence that the hinge is on the... Yep. I was almost there. I just pressed the wrong button. I'm... Okay. Come on, Mr. Wright, you can do it. There. And put me back. Bah! I'm fine. Okay. I think this is the closest I'm gonna get. But what do you mean it's not right? Finally! That was too precise. Well, is that a miracle or what? No one can possibly deny the jar resemblance to the blue badger. I just imagine Phoenix standing there holding the jar and just angling it slowly. No, it can't be. Order, order. The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious blue badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this. Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. Yeah, so Phoenix really was just holding the jar and slightly angling it and turning around and spending 30 minutes on it because it's totally worth all that time. I'm doing it wrong twice. What's your point? What do you mean? So the badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see? This changes everything. Indeed, very well then, please tell us. What difference now are we... What difference now that we know the witness saw the jar? Location, a murder weapon, or murderer? I doubt it's the location due to the angle. The murder weapon or the murderer? I'm going with the murderer. Because the murder weapon, we all kind of know with the broken knife and thing. Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. At a very specific angle that I might add, Mr. Wright. Yes. Well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar? Where? The location of this jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the ovens of Damon Grant. But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself. Yes. It is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Drake and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room in Chief Grant's office. Are you implying that the murderer moved the victim's body from Demon Grant's office to Lana Sky's office? It's the same office, guys, but okay, I get it. Yes. Why would he do that? There's no reason to. Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is was a reason. Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright? I finally figured it out. We have? So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying? That would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall? Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more, the very sharp object. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit? Ah! The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous looking sword. Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been, now Marshall, wielding the knife of prosecutor's trophy. No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking. Yes. There is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room. Another possibility? Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but neither less. I don't know if I can go through with this. Mr. Wright, what's the matter? If events took place as the defense theorized, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment. Assuming the man Emma Sky knocked away was actually Prosecutor Nell Marshall. Ooh, that doesn't look great. Poor Emma. You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? Oh, poor kiddo. No! She fainted, didn't she? I never imagined her testimony would lead to this. So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented. She fainted. Oh, poor Emma. What? What are you saying? I'm sorry, Miss Skye, but given the circumstances... So Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin this crime on her? Imagine that, coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anybody else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it? I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anybody believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall? Evidence? I'm willing to bet you don't. Because they covered everything up. Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence. If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony. I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead. We certainly can't get dead people to testify. This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. It's a shame, Miss Skye. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility. You mean there's still another possibility? What do you mean, Miss Edgeworth? I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Miss Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life, in one manner or another. That's impossible. Well, Mr. Wright, is this the only possibility left to you? A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist? I've got to think back to the court records. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind is in the evidence, because why wouldn't it be? Because the game is pointing me that way. This message from the deceased is already in our possession. Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer? Do not be mistaken, Miss Skye. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crimes. There is only one thing we seek. The truth. No matter how painful it may be. I feel bad for her. Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys the message from the deceased. Okay, I don't know which one of these two to pick. Because these have the fingerprints, sure. But... it could have been... Is there anything... What is this? The dark red stains might be blood traces from the incident 2 years ago. Only the fragment found in Chief Grant's office still has a line remaining on it. Oh, they wiped it away. Oh, I can... Yep, no, this is the evidence. I don't know if you guys... The hint for me was both seeing it zoomed in and higher quality like that, but also the hint of like only the piece left in Grant's office still had lines, which makes it sound like the other ones were wiped away. This is the message left by the deceased. This is that Blue Badger from before, right? Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name? If that thing could, I'm sure it would. Looks like everyone forgot this is just a jar. For a second, I thought I clicked on the wrong evidence and the game was mocking me. A message was left here on the surface of this jar. What do you mean? If you look closely, You can see a faint trail of blood on this jar. It looks like someone wiped the blood away. Yes, but notice. For some reason, the blood on some of the fragments have not been wiped away. Yes, there's a line here, drawn in blood. So, what you're saying is these dots were once lines. Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used a few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message. One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed direction. Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points, and the victim's message will become apparent. No. We have the spray bottle, Mr. Wright. What kind of message did the victim leave for us? Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. Got to connect these dots to make the letters. There's only one thing the victim would have written, given the circumstances. His murderer's name. Oh, Can I select the spray bottle? No. That's too bad. Oh god. Am I adding blood? Is Phoenix writing in his own blood? I'm assuming, since we are trying to kind of blame Emma. Oh, I cannot select that one. Sure. And then this one goes from like here to here. And then like this. And then like this. Present. It's a defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocent. That's what I've been thinking about, is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would be turned out like this. Emma? So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. Of all people. She may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma Skye. Oh, poor kid. I feel good for finding the person who murdered her, but seaworthy, can't say I didn't warn you. What are you doing here? Chief Grant, do you understand the implications of what you've done? What? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in that case, were you not? Ugh. Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you had used forged evidence to ensure his conviction. Gah! But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer, that's undeniable. I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know we aren't defenders of justice? What? We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery, ultimately the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied. He is trying to save his own hide, and he looks insane, I'm not gonna lie. What's going on at the prosecutor's office? They might have sent an innocent man to his death. How can he just stand there, like it wasn't his fault? Order, 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 order! The gravel pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial's headed, no one knows. To be continued. I have been recording for a while, so this is gonna be the only episode. I don't know if it will reach the 1 hour mark due to me having to cut things out. But I do still hope you guys enjoyed this. This is not where I expected the trial to go. One more episode. I think, I'm assuming. We will see you next time. I want to thank you all for watching, and bye-bye!